Yeah, um, we should talk about it. So, if you follow me on this channel, you already know that I used to be an investment banker and I make a lot of finance and specifically investment banking related content. And I talk a lot about the struggles of investment banking in the hopes of just being transparent. So, if someone happens to stumble across one of my videos, then they realize truly what they're getting themselves into. There was obviously a tragedy at Bank of America a couple weeks ago, and I've just been thinking about it a lot, and just wanted to come on here and I guess share my thoughts. There was a tragedy at Bank of America recently where a first year MBA associate has passed away. And it comes after they were working 100 plus hours for a couple weeks in a row, sounds like. And obviously, like, the cause of death can't directly be linked to stress, but yeah, like that's what we think is it was due to stress and fatigue and ultimately the pressure of the job. And I guess first of all, I've talked about this a lot, both on here and in my personal life. But when investment bankers tell you that they work 100 plus hours, sometimes multiple weeks in a row, like, please stop thinking that it's an exaggeration because it's not. When I quit my job as an investment banker, I legitimately, for 3 weeks in a row, 21 days straight, I worked from 9 a.m. to 3 a.m. every single day. And that comes out to 126 hours a week. And the common thing that everyone always says is, oh, you knew what you were getting yourself into. Oh, you shouldn't complain because you're making so much money. And I get it. I get it. You're a 25, 26, 27 year old making literally the kind of money that a lot of people could never even imagine in their life. I will be the first to tell you it is a very depressing type of lifestyle. Just imagine you try to talk to your non banker friends or family about the fact that you're stressed all the time or you're struggling or you, I don't know, literally have no time to yourself or to spend or enjoy because you're just constantly working and only thinking about work. And every time you complain to someone or just want to vent, the only thing you hear is stop complaining, you're rich. Stop complaining, you make a lot of money. Stop complaining, you knew that you were getting yourself into this. It's really depressing. It feels like you don't have anyone you can talk to. And yeah, sure, you make money. Maybe you should go to therapy. I don't know. I feel like life's not that simple. Life's not that black and white. And just because we signed up for that type of lifestyle, like, that doesn't mean we shouldn't fight to make it better, right? Am I crazy in thinking that? That we shouldn't at least, like, talk about it? I don't know. Obviously, like, I don't know what the working conditions are at Bank of America. I never worked at Bank of America. I've got friends that work at Bank of America. But, like, yeah, we should generally, as an industry, talk about the working conditions because I remember when I was in the thick of it, I would get chest pains, like, legitimately every day. My chest would hurt, and I never knew why. And then all of a sudden, I quit my job as a banker. I moved on, and now, like, I'm almost a year out from when I quit banking, and surprise, surprise, like, I don't get chest pains anymore. I'm not stressed. When I tell you I would get chest pains, I literally went to the doctor's office one time to get it checked out. And while I'm at the doctor's office, I'm on my laptop, like, trying to work. I want to take a second to talk about the actual demands that the junior bankers at Bank of America asked for. So I've got the list here in front of me. So, number one, they asked to fire the head of the Financial Institutions Group, also known as FIG, in the Americas. Number two, the FIG staffers and COO should be fired. Three, after investigation, any senior associate, VP, director, or MD on the specific deal that this associate was working on should also be fired. Then number four, a maximum hours worked cap for junior bankers of 100 hours in a single week. Um, if that cap is met, then the following week they should only work 60 hours. Next, all junior bankers get minimum 1 weekend off a month and no more than 2 Saturday exceptions in a month. And then 7, an immediate town hall with the head of banking. So a couple thoughts. I actually think that the requests in terms of the working conditions, like the 100-hour cap, and if you hit that, then the next week you only work 60 hours. I actually don't think those are unreasonable, and I think we should talk about that. The fact that we're starting the conversation at 100 hours a week in itself is kind of insane, but yeah, like that's where we're starting. And I think it's reasonable. Asking for 1 weekend off a month, I think that's reasonable. But I think where they messed up is when you start your list of demands with firing a bunch of executives. And listen, I don't have a problem with firing executives. Fire all the executives if you want. But when you start that, when that is the starting point of your negotiation, no one's going to take you seriously. No one that is in a position of power, decision-making position is going to take you seriously. Bank of America has already said they don't plan to have an investigation to look into this. They don't plan to, for lack of a better term here, take responsibility because as far as they're concerned, like it was unrelated to work. I do think if you had maybe started the list with, okay, let's have a town hall and talk about working conditions, maybe you could have gotten somewhere. Maybe you could have actually gotten people to listen and hear you. The other really sad thing is they tried to stage a walkout/protest with all the junior bankers where they were like, okay, let's just no one work for a week, 2 weeks, whatever, to put pressure on senior bankers to, kind of show the power and say, hey, until these demands are met, we're not doing any work. Lo and behold, none of the junior bankers did it. And it's because a lot of people were fearful of losing their job, which is fair. We've allowed this culture or created this culture where people are just scared, not just to lose their job, but scared to not do the work when they're told to, and that's why they're staying up till 3 a.m. They're scared that if they push back at all, then that makes them a bad employee, and all of a sudden now they're gonna, a senior banker is not going to want to work with them anymore, or they're not going to get that promotion, they're not going to get that bonus. And we've allowed that culture to continue being built in the industry as a whole. So at the very, very least, we should have a conversation about it.